Welcome to our conference. We're proposing you a paper today related to education in national minorities languages in Romanian legislation first. And after, we propose you to analyze together the results of a survey that we made and some conclusion related to difference or relationship between regulation between the norms of education in national minorities languages and school performance. The survey you will see is conducted in our region, in our county, in Dobrogea. And from this point of view, we will see the results only in a part we can analyze at national level, because I want to say that in Romania we can speak about minorities issue from two very separate point of view. We have, because we have in some region of our country, we have a big minority, which minority in that region is the majority, actually, yes? And we have the other minorities in all Romania, but Dobrogea region, Dobrogea county is special from this point of view because you heard about tomorrow, today, this issue. We live here in this county. We are 19 minorities that we are living in this area from century. Okay, I will start it. I will start with with the legal frame. European General Framework, it's known by everybody, but I refer just at 2 points because I saw some students and maybe it's interesting for them. I just announce. We have as an European General Framework related to education in minority languages, we have a convention for protection of National Minority Council of Europe from 1994, yes, who was ratified by Romania in 1995, just a year ago. And we have the European Charter for Regional and Minority Languages, adopted by the Council of Europe in Strasbourg in 1992. This is the general European framework related to the languages in education in minority languages. So, we will refer as a legal framework from national point of view, because the national legislation it's more important at the local level. It's more important many times it's more important than European framework, because the implementation is different. The implementation of the regulation is, I don't know why, I really don't know why, but it's happened. The same regulation are implemented different in different county, in different area. Maybe because the administration, maybe because we can talk about more of this. So, speaking about the Romanian legal framework, we can refer, first of all, at constitutional framework, at the constitutional regulation, and after that, of the infra-constitutional level, as we told in juridical word. So, in the Constitution, we have express regulation about the right to the preservation, development, and the expression of their ethnic, cultural, linguistic, and religious identity for every person. We found also expressively the right to learn the mother tongue, and we will see two differences related to this issue. The right to learn the mother tongue is constitutionally recognized and guaranteed, and Constitution also guaranteed the right to be educated in their mother tongue. You see, two different ways. And also, we found in Romanian Constitution the right to study and be trained in the mother tongue. This right is, as I told, recognized and guaranteed for all the persons who belong to national minority for all levels, types, and forms in pre-universities. We call in Romania, we have the system before university, and it's called pre-university. Okay. After the Constitution, no, yes, I just say 2 or 3 words about the infra-constitutional legislation in the educational area. And here we have an organic law and a special law, a law who is adopted with a special majority because we're talking about an important field. We're talking about educational field, yes. And the education law, we have a new education law in Romania since 2011, yes, in which we find a lot of regulation related to the related to education in minority languages, yes. I want just to mention that the students belonging to national minorities who attend educational units taught in Romania or in a language other than their mother tongue are provided upon request, attention, and in accordance with the law to be a subject of study, mother tongue, so they can study mother tongue, and some special discipline in if they choose that. Also, another article, another part of the educational law say that students and teachers of state education, that, so from public system, public educational system, are authorized or private authorized by the states, yes, benefit from free textbook, both for education in Romanian language and for education in her in her minorities language, in accordance, of course, with the law. What I want to say about this regulation, this last regulation, this regulation is implemented by different administration. We can choose area from Romania who respect and apply, and we have area who don't respect and don't apply. What I want to say more than that about higher education this time, we have some institutes, some educational unit at university level who have a special statute of multicultural and bilingual, how can I say? Multilingual, yes. Okay, so multilingual universities, according to also the law of education. And we mentioned Babeș-Bolyai University. We have Professor Levente Salat from there. University of Medicine and Pharmacy of Târgu Mureș. We have just one university in Cluj-Napoca and 2 universities in Târgu Mureș. Okay, next. No, the middle part. What I want to say more, we're starting this survey, we do this survey starting from 2 different situations in education in minority languages. Because we are talking about formal education, we can talk about formal education, and we can talk about non-formal education. And these 2 points of view are very important and different approach by the minority from all the country. Formal education itself has 2 variants, and we have here the study of the mother tongue with school or section in school in one of the languages of national minorities. And we have here some examples such as Italian minorities, German minorities, Serbian, Hungarian, and the list can go on. And another variant is study of the mother tongue separately from the school curriculum, from the educational curriculum. So we have situation that almost all the curriculum is in the mother tongue, or we have the situation when just some discipline are from that curriculum are from the mother tongue. Next. Okay. So this is in general this is shortly the general legal frame about education in national minorities. And now I invite my colleague to talk about the survey that we are done in this field.
Thank you very much, Flavia. We conducted a survey in the last semester of 2021-2022. So it's just a pilot study, only for Constanța County, not all Dobroja, because it was based on a Google form, and all the respondents are from the Constanța County. We don't receive answers from Tulcea, the other county that with Constanța are the former Dobroja County. So in our study, what is the most appropriate solution for Romanian education system to teach in or of national minority languages? Teaching in mother language can become a disadvantage. This is our main question. What is the perception of students regarding the exclusive use by minority members of the mother tongue in education? So, this is the sample structure. In the first graphic, you may see the structure from the 2011 census, the last one for we have information. And in our ethnic minority structure are less Hungarian, are many answers from the Tatar and Turkey, because are an important community here. And we make some hypotheses for our study, because are some respondents from some minorities, like Roma minorities, that can answer to the survey. because they have some problems with IT access. So let's try to use this. I already say that we use a Google form. Our questionnaire has 20 items and has been validated for 67 responses. The study we started based on this hypothesis. Participation in the survey was voluntary. Minorities have no problem asserting their ethnic identity because this is another problem to assume specific minority. In the actual census, our states promote in the between the minorities to assume the minority, because there are some that only say I'm Romanian and so on, and don't want to recognize his own minority. The results from some questions we made based on a Likert scale from 1 to 5. 1 means never and 5 is almost always. The answer you see here as average. It's arithmetic mean with frequency, what we made here. And it's obvious that how often do you speak your mother tongue at home? The response was always or almost always. And the most, at school, we may see that the answer is more from never to very, very often. Okay, what kind of education are you in? Because the private schools are more likely to use their mother tongue. We have exclusively in the only mother tongue, bilingual, so only Romanian. And from this, most of our respondents are speaking only Romanian at school. If you had the opportunity, would you choose to propose an exclusive form of education in your mother tongue? And the answer was no for 76.12% of the respondents. To what extent are you aware of the legal provision regarding education in the language of minorities? The average was 2.50 from 5. To what extent do you consider the regulation of minority language education sufficient? The average was near the 3. How many other languages do you speak beside your mother tongue and national languages? It's a little small, my graphic, but you may see that the most population from the respondents are answering 2, 3 or more than 3 languages. We try to find what are the area of interest regarding the mother tongue to like subjects on this language, and 88% from the respondents are from public schools, so they are not so interested learning in mother tongue. Maybe only history of national minorities, and some of them are think that it's better to learn in mother tongue history of Romania or some and mother tongue subject. To what extent is the importance of education in the mother tongue discussed in your community? The answer was less than 3, so it's not so interesting subject. And how important do you think mother tongue education is? This was higher and is near 4 from 5. Some final remarks. The language in Europe, in the strict sense, belong for the most part in terms of kinship to one language family, the large Indo-European family, which accounts for over 95% of Europe's geographical population, distinguish Europe in the narrow sense from the other continents except Australia, where there are a large number of language families. Some languages are protected only locally or regionally, are allowed in parliamentary debates, in court, or they may be national languages for the protection of which special provisions have been adopted, but which are not official. In some cases, the qualification as an official state language does not cover exactly the same reality, especially in the case of states that have more than one official language. Romania has one official language, and this is Romanian. The co-official languages of the same state can be located in the principle on the same plane from the point of view of the right granted to them, or may be subject to a certain hierarchy and may have a somewhat different role, or at the level of the function performed, either territorially. And to conclude, we encourage the government initiative to raise awareness of the linguistic rights of citizens belonging to national minorities, that it is essential for the development of the community as well as of preservation of his identity. And also, we make a legislative proposal concerning the introduction of a regulation providing the obligation, because now the organization, the NGO, are not forced to do this. So to ensure education for the group they represent. So even they take money from the states, they sometimes don't do almost nothing to preserve the language of the minority. So thank you for your attention, and if are any questions?
Questions, please. Conducting the research on Constanza's area and the result we already seen. Do you think that if you extend this type of research at the national level, do you think that we'll have the same results?
No. We are sure that we don't have the same results. For that reason, we have specified from the beginning, we look at this study only for our region.
So the Constanza is a model from this point of view of
Yes.
minorities and minorities' rights, but we cannot extrapolate this type of conclusion at the national level because we have also other types of minorities which perceive these appartenance to their minorities other than these minorities from Constanza. They want to be a part of a majority.
Yes, of course.
You know
yes,
that.
of course.
I mean, I don't want to start polemics in this field.
From the beginning, we made the mention that in Romania there are two points of view regarding the minority. The Hungarian minority and the others are different, the solution must be different.
One are based on NTA,
Yes.
and the one wanted maybe a territorial
Yes,
autonomy.
yes.
So this is a very, very sensible subject.
Sometimes
so,
not
for
not
further-
in Dobruja, not in Constanța. For that reason, you can feel well here and you are welcome anytime.
Thank you. Jim, Federico.
You said when you were speaking about the results, you said the percentage of respondents who thought education in the mother tongue was important was actually not very high. And I was wondering why you think this might be. Why is it not considered?
because if you give me the permission to
Okay,
give a response. If it was too small, my graphic, I don't estimate this. But we have a very high answer from some minorities, like Macedonian or Aromâni in our.
Macedonian
So
don't have
it's a distinction between Macedonian and Aromâni. And we have a very big community here in Constanța County of this kind of and this language is very appropriate, very near from Romanian language, and for them it's not a problem to speak Romanian, and at home to speak in Macedonian, in Aromână. So this is maybe some problem regarding the sample we choose by voluntary answer. Maybe in the future we'll do a physics survey to ask and make a structure sample, because
Can
now
control
we
more, yes.
yes, we don't have the control. We only send it near some units, school units, on the parents' email, because they are between 10 and 18 years old, and the legislation are some restriction to ask them what they want. So with the parents approve, they respond to the questionnaire we send it. So maybe in the future we'll do a better sample, and it is possible to receive other results.
And we can compare them at the next level.
More questions, please.
Yeah, I have that exact same question first as Rita, but I was also thinking about the Hungarian minority, just in terms of its sheer size, and you had also mentioned, or it was mentioned perhaps in the previous presentation, that it's also the best funded of all of the minority groups. And I was going to ask if there's some sort of sense that Hungary's oftentimes outspoken involvement in minority affairs, whether or not this helps, or maybe even in some cases hinders the integration of the Hungarian minority in Romania. And so that's the first part of the question. And the second part of the question is how that relationship between the Hungarian state and the Hungarian minority in Romania, what impact, if any at all, does this have upon the two states' bilateral relations?
To put all in what sense?
Întreba dacă există ceva bilateral între Ungaria și România. In our study, we don't study this minority because according to the last census, this minority in the area is less than 0.1% from our population. They are located more in Transylvania. So this is the problem regarding the the autonomy, territorial autonomy, and non-territorial autonomy. Here are very mixed, so nobody has something to say more than the other minority. So this is maybe more easy to implement a non-territorial autonomy. Regarding what you ask, if the Hungarian government give some
Yes, we have at European level.
some discussion regarding
Yes.
this, and it's a very difficult subject sometimes regarding this minority. Sometimes, I believe in few years, they even ask for territorial autonomy.
But it's not our.
It's not our subject, so sorry. Maybe we extend our research. Thank you very much for the
We are
question.
talking about non-territorial autonomy.
Zoran, yeah.
Very.
Very short question about that mother tongue education. I think Flavia you talked about this issue, formal and informal versions you talked about. So as far as I noted, Neo-Greek, Russian, Armenians, and Turks just getting the formal one, and the others all getting the formal education, mother tongue education. I really wondered about the reason of this and how it is functioning in practice. How
Formal and
that
informal
some is
education.
Hungary, informal mean that kind of education or some other types?
Formal education in practice. We have formal education in practice in public school, but if we can have, and the minorities can have informal education
Like the Sunday school
from
Yes, like the Sunday schools we have for
Yes,
Tatar,
yes.
for Turkey, for Greek even.
and it's a problem then that in this way is resolved by the small minorities. The states can do schools for the small minorities, so in that case the NGO, yes, the NGO or non-governmental organization can do this.
Why you call it the Neo-Greek instead of just Greek? What is the purpose
No,
of
Greek.
this? Because it's called as Neo.
One
What?
of the slides said the
Neo.
Is the name according the census from 2011? This census from this year, because is not finished yet. It's working. Are many other names for the minority, because some of them don't choose a minority because they are
Just
some
part
like
yes.
Cipani or Fârșeloți is the same thing for the one from Greek
Roma.
or a români. And sometimes we have the same problem regarding our survey, because they ask me what means a români. Are the same with the Macedonian or are another minority? Sometimes they don't know if they are a români or Macedon. And sometimes we have like in the plenary say maybe some persons are Turkey and Tatar too, two minorities. So they don't know what to choose. You know, the census don't give only one answer. You are Romanian, you are Turkey, but if you have some origins from Turkey and some from Tatar, you don't have the choice there. This is maybe some problem. Okay, I hope I...
Yeah, if I could ask a question myself, just drawing on two of the previous questions, the it's obvious that, as you've said, the situation and the issues are going to be very different depending on the region.
Yes.
And you know, you talked about the particular situation and the views here, but as has been said, you know, we have the system of decentralisation in Romania,
Yes.
and the provision for use of other languages where a certain percentage of the population speaks it. So, as you say, in those areas of Transylvania, you have got a kind of de facto territorial autonomy where, and schools where most of the curriculum will be taught in the mother tongue, and that made me think about issues of what about learning the Romanian language in schools where
Yes.
the minority language is
This is
the
an issue.
dominant one. I mean,
This
are
is
you
an issue.
aware of any issues or concerns around that people
Yes,
have expressed?
it is an issue. This is an issue about Romanian language in the area where Romanian are minority. And for this reason, our survey is related to the school performance. And we saw that even the people who are from minorities, want from here. And in that way, I think we can expand our study. Because the minority that live in Dobroja said that if all the school it will be in their mother tongue, they consider this a disadvantage.
Less opportunities for the higher education if
Yes.
they teach only mother tongue, and especially mother tongue in a pre-university system.
Yeah.
So this is maybe a problem. This is what we try to reveal.
But honestly, I think the globalization will resolve somehow this problem, because knowing more languages is better for everyone development.
But to know
At all.
good, good
At all.
room.
Yes.
But
Correct.
just as are there any schools within Dobroja where the minority language would be the main language?
Only the Turkey. We
Turkey,
have college for, and
All
is the
educational
finance
level
is
in
private.
Turkey.
It's
But
private.
it's private.
And we have some private schools, but the English is the main language because our Cambridge school and so on with the curricula for international schools.
Okay, if there are no further questions, I'm sure we'll return to some of these issues at the end of the session, but we'll move on to our third paper. Thank you very much.